Welcome back to They Said Quotes, the channel dedicated to the remarkable words of the most inspired individuals in the world. Today, we're delving into the life of one of the most stoic men to ever exist, Marcus Aurelius. At one point, he held the title of the most powerful man in the known world. Marcus Aurelius sought to lead a virtuous life, adhering to historical principles. Unlike many Roman emperors, he refrained from indulging in the numerous pleasures at his disposal, such as excessive drinking and spectating brutal games at the Colosseum. Marcus Aurelius aimed to fulfill the task bestowed upon him by fortune, which was to serve humanity. Consequently, he deeply cared about fulfilling his purpose. To achieve this, he needed to care less about things that didn't deserve value or attention. One fundamental concept of Stoicism is the distinction between things we control and things we don't. As Epictetus' manual makes clear, most, if not all, things beyond our actions are not within our control. This implies that we should relinquish unnecessary burdens by being realistic about our limited influence over these matters. When life hurts, it often means we care about things beyond our control, allowing them to manipulate us like puppets. Blaming the puppeteers for manipulating our strings is futile when, in reality, we allowed them to do so. By ceasing to care about these external factors, they lose power over us, enabling us to face life's responsibilities and challenges with tranquility. For Marcus Aurelius, not being disturbed by things outside his control allowed him to tackle the many responsibilities and challenges of being an emperor. He focused on the task he believed the gods had assigned him. For Epictetus, this meant freedom. Not being affected by external forces could be a way to concentrate on meaningful goals. For others, it could simply be a path to a happy and carefree life. So, when life hurts, what should we stop caring about, and how do we do that? This video explores a free interpretation of Marcus Aurelius' philosophy on caring less about things not worth valuing in his meditations. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly differentiates between the present, past, and future. In each category, the ancient Roman emperor imparts valuable insights into how we often care too much, or in the wrong ways, about the past and future. He suggests that we suffer more in our imagination of the future than in the reality of our lives. Concerning the future, our imagination tends to run wild, conjuring countless scenarios that may never come to pass. We fret over possible outcomes, all the while dreading the uncertainty of the future. However, Marcus Aurelius points out that our thoughts about the future are the source of our suffering. When it comes to the future, our imagination often spirals out of control, fabricating numerous scenarios that likely will never unfold as anticipated. For example, we might spend years preparing for a well-deserved retirement, only to receive a diagnosis of a terminal illness, giving us only a few months to live. The possibility of such events leads to excessive worry, envisioning both the best and worst outcomes. But, as Marcus Aurelius contends, until these events are happening in the present, we cannot deal with them because they exist solely in our thoughts. The future only bothers us because we think about it. It doesn't exist outside of our minds. If faced with a mortal illness, what prevents you from living today and savoring every moment of your precious life? Regardless of what you're going through, whether it's something minor or immensely significant, lift your head, put on your best attire, and your favorite sneakers, and go live moments that will be remembered long after your passing. Marcus Aurelius wrote that it's not the weight of the future pressing upon us, but the weight of the present alone. It's not the unfolding future that hurts us, but how we deal with it in the present. The misery of the future occurs in the present, and ironically, it's not the future unfolding in the present because when we encounter it, it's already the present. When we care too much about future events, life begins to hurt as we suffer in our imagination, allowing them to dictate our present. So, what did Marcus Aurelius say about worrying too much about the future? Let's consider the following quote: "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." He emphasized that if he could handle the present, he could also handle the future. He urged himself not to imagine everything terrible that could happen, but to deal with the situation at hand in the present. When he focused on the present, he realized he could endure it. If that were the case, why wouldn't he be able to handle what is yet to come? This attitude aligns with the concept of amor fati, the love of fate, fortified with the confidence that if we are capable of enduring it, the past should serve as a teacher rather than a source of despair. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself how swiftly existence passes and disappears into the infinite beyond our reach. The past, like the future, is a domain we cannot operate within. What's gone is gone, and unless we invent a time machine, we cannot change anything about it. However, we often continue to care about past events, replaying them in our minds, and reliving the pain they caused. Some believe that by thinking about the past, they can exert some control over it. But this is an illusion. The past is gone, and all we attempt to control are our thoughts about something that's already gone and will never return. Many wish they could have done things differently, saying, "I wish I could have done that differently." But these wishes are futile because they evoke desires that can never be fulfilled. Instead of fixating on past events, Marcus Aurelius focused on his reaction to them. We cannot control past events, and our memories of the past are likely inaccurate, relying on personal perspectives and different viewpoints. However, we can control how we position ourselves in relation to these events. Initially, we might view the past as misfortune, a difficult childhood, the end of friendships, or failed business ventures. But according to Marcus Aurelius, the nature of these events isn't crucial. What matters is how we deal with them. In the face of misfortune, Marcus Aurelius questioned, is it not the act of an ill-instructed man to wish to have these things happen to a man, which he can only wish to befall himself? He encouraged himself not to call misfortune something that doesn't violate human nature. Can you genuinely label misfortune something that doesn't go against human nature, or do you think that something not contrary to nature can violate it? But do you know what nature's will is? What happens prevents you from acting with justice, generosity, self-control, sanity, prudence, honesty, humility, frankness, and all the other qualities that allow a person's nature to flourish. Interestingly, Marcus Aurelius didn't dismiss the value of the past entirely. He believed the past, by observing its rhythm, allows us to extrapolate the future. The present, he often mentioned, is all we have, a narrow field accessible from which we can look into the infinite abyss of the past and the impenetrable darkness of the future. He encouraged focusing on what's within our control, the present moment. Even when we discard the past and minimize concerns about the future, we often still care deeply about things not worth worrying about, the things happening right now. We're frequently dissatisfied with how life unfolds, becoming upset, sad, or depressed when things don't go as we wish. However, getting emotionally disturbed by the present moment is futile. As the world around us unfolds, it's beyond our control. But how we react to it is within our control. Yet, we often get upset because we dislike what's happening or because what we desire isn't happening. Marcus Aurelius argued that allowing ourselves to be emotionally disturbed by present circumstances is useless. Whether the world meets our desires or not, we cannot force the world to conform to our wishes. We aren't guaranteed that the people we're attracted to will feel the same way about us. We're uncertain if all human beings have the same opportunities in life. It's simply not possible. We get angry because we don't have what we want and sad because we encounter what we don't like. Thus, the present moment becomes a torture chamber where we suffer at the mercy of the future. Conversely, being so enamored with the present moment that we cling to it leads us to fear losing what we have. Again, we allow the future to control us. But with our complete engagement in everything around us, transient and unpredictable, we often fail to see what truly lies within our control, our choices, actions, and opinions. Marcus Aurelius regarded the law of nature as our master. If we deviate from it or feel sorrow or anger toward it, we are nothing more than deserters and fugitives. We must accept the ways of nature, embrace them, and focus on dealing with them instead of wasting our energy being displeased or attached to our circumstances. Accepting circumstances can be challenging, especially when facing significant hardships and life repeatedly hands us lemons. We might wonder, can't we catch a break? But for Marcus Aurelius, adversity and life's challenges are not excuses to behave like pigs. Instead, they are opportunities to practice virtue, to apply historical philosophy to our lives. The art of living is not about how incredible and fortuitous our external circumstances are, because they are fleeting, fragile, volatile, and not within our control. It's about how we face the events we encounter. That's what we should care about. Hold on to that. Strive to live today to the best of your ability, regardless of your physical, emotional, financial, or any other situation. Seek to initiate change in something within your reach. Just start. Don't look at others. Don't look at the future. Don't look at the past. See what's before you and just start. I hope you achieve the positive results you aspire to in your life. Remember, your motivation may wane at times, but persist and be consistent in everything you do. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if this content has been meaningful to you. I'll leave 2 videos here that you might be interested in watching as well. Until next time, please like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all.